morning. I'm going to do a cooking video this morning in conjunction with a review of the Mega Chef air fryer. I'd never owned one before, never used one before. One of my subscribers bought one and sent it to me. It was such a surprise and nice thing to receive. I've gotten things from coffee cups and things like that from subscribers, but this is the first time that someone's ever sent me anything of the size and quality of the air fryer. And so I'm going to start out with a quick view of my kitchen. We live in a independent living senior citizens community where they do have at least a full kitchen, but it's not very large. This is my kitchen. It is between the sink and the range on the left here is 5 feet, and it is 9 feet long. And that's it. Back in the corner we have that door there is the pantry. And on one side we have cabinets and a full-size sink and the coffee maker. As you can see, the largest space is taken up by the coffee maker. Of course, the sink takes up that much. And on the other side is the refrigerator, full-size refrigerator. Well, full-size. It's not a big double door or anything, but at least it's bigger than an apartment or a school dorm. And the counter over here is only about 6 feet long total, but it has a full-size electric range. And this is the only space that we had here for the air fryer, and it had to give up several things that I keep in that space there to have room for it. Now, we lived in an RV for several years, and it was a rather small kitchen there too. But one of the limitations of the air fryer is to find room to put it. Air fryers seem to come in three basic sizes: a 2-quart, a 3.5, which is this and seems to be the most popular size, and then they also make a 5-quart. This 3.5 here is probably what the majority of the people want to buy. They range in price from, I saw a 2-quart at Bed Bath & Beyond for $39.95, and I've seen them on up as high as $150. And just looking at them, it looks like the engineers that designed them were all reading each other's mail, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit that the internals of them, the mechanicals, wasn't all universal and made in the same factory in China. And the only thing that the smaller factories did was build the plastic bowling ball, if you want to call it that, and stamp out the basic metal parts in it. Another thing about it, it does require at least a 15 amp GFI protected wall outlet. And this is my toaster oven, which occupies the largest space we have in here, and I do 98% of all my baking in it because it only uses 1/3 of the power that the range does for the same baking job, and for 2 people it's more than adequate for that. This one is the 3.5 quart size Mega Chef. There's a lot of different brands and everything like that, but they all work basically the same. And it consists of a drawer, where you release it by lifting this little tab, and then you can lift the basket out, and everything is cooked in this basket here. And this is strictly a catch pan here. You don't use it for grease or anything like that. And this lifts, snaps back in place, and the cover here keeps it from accidentally falling, being dropped. To start off my breakfast burrito, put the small pan on the burner, turn it on, and spray it with cooking spray to stop any sticking. And this is my taco jar, I call it. It's neither a jar and it's not going to be for tacos, but this is where I toss leftovers that will become breakfast or something the next day or two. This happens to be some hash that I made. It's got potatoes, onions, celery, red and green bell pepper. And the meat in it is a chopped up hamburger steak patty. And first thing we're going to do is let that heat up and get hot enough there to start cooking the egg in it. I call my cooking cowboy cooking. It's make do with what you have, use what's available, and do it with the least occupation of time that you can, because you have so many other jobs to do. And so this is bubbling nicely now. I'll break the egg into it. And just break it up and stir it around and incorporate all the vegetables into it. In the meantime, I put a 10-inch flour tortilla into the microwave up there and to heat it up, and so we can use it. Let that hang out and cook there. As the egg cooks, we'll turn it over, cook the other side. You don't want it done all the way. You don't want any soft yellow or hot white on the egg in a burrito. And at this point, I'll hit it with some ground black pepper here. I love my fresh ground pepper, and a little salt. And my favorite hot sauce here, sriracha. Rooster sauce, a lot of people call it. And a few drops of that across it. Well, the tortilla's hot, and the eggs are done there in that. Take the tortilla out. It has a right and a wrong side. The wrong side, the food side, is the one with the little brown dots on it, and the other side will be white. And just slide it out on the tortilla. Now, normally I'd leave the pan on here to toast the burrito in it, but since I'm going to do it in the air fryer, and some grated cheese. And now I'll roll oh, wait a minute, one thing I forgot. Get a little of the raw egg out of the shell and rub it across this right there. And I'll explain that. Then you just roll a tortilla. Roll a burrito. You fold the sides in. It's just like making a Chinese egg roll. Bring this over. Push anything into it. squeeze that and then roll it on over. There. Now normally this would go back in the skillet, but since I'm going to use the air fryer to brown it, I'll change over to that at this point. Well, I'm preheating the air fryer, and it's hot enough now, so I'll take this out and put the burrito in there side down. Now this looks like it's big enough to cook two with, but two in at a time, but I'm only going to cook one this morning, so back in goes. And it started, and it's set on 14 minutes and 360 degrees. You can set it for anything you wanted, and the little cookbook gives recommended temperatures. I used it once before to crisp up some tater tots that I got with some burgers from Sonic, and it worked great for that. Let's see how it works on toasting this tortilla. Okay, I'm going to try out the air fryer here on crisping up some tater tots. Got them up at the Sonic, and by the time I got here, they're kind of getting on the soggy side, so I'm going to use the air fryer to crisp them up. Okay, back in, and it started. Now I'm going to let them go about 6 or 7 minutes and check it. They're set on 16 minutes now, so I'll let it go about 5 minutes. Okay, it's 4 minutes now. Let me check these. I can use just a little bit more. Okay, there's another minute. I'm gonna lift the basket out, dump them in there. Put it back together and stop the cooker here. So we'll go to the table and eat those now. Well, it's been 7 minutes, so I'm going to take a quick peek at it. It's showing signs of being brown, and it's hard on the outside, so I think I'll shut this off at this point and move it over here. That pan is hot, and everything in it is hot, so protect yourself against touching any of the metal and pick it up. Stop that, and going to take this over to the table, and here it is on the table. I'll check it out now. Well, it's toasty. It's not hard. A little harder there, over here. It's well toasted. It's toasted on the bottom side, which is normally harder to toast than the top in these air fryers. And so let's take a bite of this puppy and see how it tastes. Well, the tortilla is nice and crispy. I don't think I'd let it go much longer than that. It might start shattering. Well, it's 6:30. Frida's probably getting up pretty soon. I'll finish my breakfast and then have hers. Get down into this burrito. It's the way I remember all my burritos. Tastes like whatever's in it. If you liked it once, you'll like it again. God bless America. God bless our great state of Texas. It'll be 200 years old in a few years. My ancestors came to Texas in 1832. Well, it was still part of Mexico, and they were some of the original settlers of East Texas, down around Rusk and places like that, and slowly over the years they migrated to the Panhandle of Texas, which is known as north of the Canadian River, and that's where I grew up. So, you folks have a great day, and all I can say about the air fryer, it's a cute accessory to have if you have room for it. If you're on limited room, it might be in the way and something to consider before you buy one. But they look well built and not bad for the price. Bye.